In the formula of a copper chloride hydrate lamp, what you're going to do is you're going to get a blue copper chloride hydrate, and you are going to evaporate the water and determine what the formula of that copper chloride hydrate is. So you're going to get yourself about 1 to 2 grams of copper chloride hydrate, and you are going to turn on the hot plates in the lab, and there's a button on the side of the hot plate that you need to turn on. Do not use the stir function, just turn on the heat side. And you're going to turn it up, I'd say about halfway. If it looks like it's taking too long to heat up, then you can turn it up a little more. If it looks like you've got water that's flying back at you, or it's heating too fast, then you can turn it down a little bit. You're going to heat it until your copper chloride turns from blue to brown. And you might need to stir your copper chloride hydrate with a spatula every so often. Once you are done, you're going to take the copper chloride hydrate, you're going to take your crucible that has your copper chloride hydrate off of the hot plate. Now keep in mind that your copper chloride hydrate and the crucible is going to be hot. So don't try to pick it up with your hands. Get some paper towels and use those as a makeshift pot holder, or you have some tongs in your drawers that might be large enough to work. You need to let it cool for about 5 minutes. If you put a hot crucible on the balance, it will damage the balance. So make sure that you let it cool. The crucible should be cool enough that you can pick it up with your hands before you put it on the balance. So then you're going to weigh it, and then you're going to reheat the sample for about 5 more minutes and let it cool again. If your mass changes by more than 0.005 grams, then you've still got some water in there. So you're going to keep heating it and then weighing it after it's cooled until you get a mass where it doesn't change. So once you have that data, you're going to record the mass of your crucible here in part A, and then you're going to record the mass of your crucible plus your copper chloride hydrate. So to get the mass of just the copper chloride hydrate, you're going to subtract your mass of your crucible and copper chloride hydrate, and you're going to subtract the mass of the crucible from that. Then you're going to record the mass of your crucible plus your copper chloride after heating, and then you're going to take your mass of your copper chloride after heating with the crucible and subtract off the mass of just your crucible. And then to get the mass of your water, you're going to take the mass of the copper chloride hydrate minus the mass of the copper chloride after you heated it. So once you have your mass of your copper chloride, which is what you're going to need, and your mass of your water, then the questions at the end of this lab handout ask you to calculate the number of moles of copper chloride and calculate the number of moles of water. So let's talk about how you're going to do that. So to calculate the number of moles of copper chloride, you're going to take your mass of copper chloride and you're going to set up the unit conversion. So you will need to calculate the molar mass of copper chloride. And you will need to do that, of course, in grams per mole. So we know that molar mass is grams per 1 mole. So we're going to take our mass of copper chloride and we're going to take the molar mass per 1 mole of copper chloride And you're going to plug in the mass of copper chloride that you recorded in your table. And you're going to plug in the molar mass of your copper chloride, and that's going to give you the number of moles of copper chloride. So then you're going to do the same thing for your water. You're going to take the mass of your water that you recorded in your table, and you're going to take the molar mass of water per 1 mole, and that will give you the moles of water. So you're going to plug in here the molar mass of water. So that will give you the number of moles of water that you have. And then in question 3, you're asked for the mole ratio. So you're going to take how many ever moles of water you calculated and divide that by how many moles of copper chloride you calculated. So this comes from the moles of water you calculated back in question 2, and the moles of copper chloride you calculated in question 1. And you're going to get a number here. You want to round to the nearest whole number. So say for example you get something like 3.142. You're going to round that to 3. And then finally in question 4 it asks you for the formula of the hydrate. So it gives you the form CuCl2 times ZH2O. All that question is asking you to do is to plug in the number you got in question 3 in place of Z. So let's say, for example, that in question 3 you came up with a mole ratio of 9 moles of water per mole of copper chloride. You would write this as CuCl2 times 9H2O. And that's it. That's all you need to write. Do not write anything else in that blank. That's what you're going to record as your answer. So that is the formula of a copper chloride hydrate lab. So make sure to read over your lab handout and submit your purpose and procedure on Canvas before you come to lab. And I will see you in lab.